So my name is Sabrina Joseph. I'll be starting off with the overview. We'll be looking at how you log into your portal, when you will be paid, where you can find your payslip and how to understand all of this, how your tax code is determined, what to do if you still think your tax code is wrong even after getting a few payslips, how you claim sick pay, what your holiday entitlements are, and how to enter this on the portal, what the Nest pension scheme is, and how to opt out of that. Also, we'll speak a bit about the SIPP salary sacrifice pension and expenses. So you will need to enter your username just here and your password to get into the portal. Once you have done that, you will be asked to complete the two-factor authentication. So we just use that for security and safety of your data. This box here, where it says remember me, once you select that, you won't need to go through the authentication process within the same day. If you don't select that, what will happen is every time you go to log in, it will keep asking you to enter the verification code. So every week we do get the timesheet sent in from AMS, and this is done on the data exchange file. So sometimes you might hear us say the DX file. It's sent either on a Wednesday or a Thursday. So some people are on 7-day payment terms, whereby the payment will come to us on a Wednesday and you'll be paid on a Friday. For those on payment terms of 30 days, we get it on a Thursday for your payment to arrive in your account by the Monday. So there are multiple reasons as to why you may not have received it yet. I would say the most common one is your timesheet not being approved by your line manager. If there was a delay with it, we would advise to avoid that happening, just checking in with your line manager just to make sure they're able to do it on time, or if they can't, just finding a secondary timesheet approver in that instance. Um, we would like you to check your payment terms as well, because sometimes it could just be that you're not actually due for payment just yet. So it's important to know when you start, are you on the 7-day payment terms or are you on the 30-day payment terms? You can check that with us or AMS and we'll be able to let you know. If your timesheet information was not included on the DX file, so you won't have sight of that. What will happen is when you query your missing payment, we'll be able to investigate and find out why there was a delay or when it's next due to come in. But we will just keep you updated. If there is anything outstanding, so if you have a P45 that you need to send us or upload on your portal or any employee statements that need completing, you will be able to do that on the portal. But if it's not done in time for payroll, that will hold that up. You will see like a red message on the portal informing you of this. You will get the same message as well if any bank details are incorrect. So it's important to check over your sort code and your account number, because sometimes this is a common issue where there could be a typo in the numbers and that can also cause a bounce back with your payment. So you can find your payslip on the portal. If you go to your data and then select payslips, they will be listed out. They are on the portal all the time, so you can access them anytime you need to. We have recently got a function in where you can select download all. So if you do need to select all your payslips in one go, you can retrieve them all in one go as well. If you're a leaver, we would recommend that you save all your payslips. So this is just what it would look like once it's generated. This copy is just zoomed in just for this presentation, but the top line is your company details. You'll see your details on the next line down. So you'll see what tax code you're on. If that does change, you'll see it change here as well. The body of the payslip is just your units and rates that you've worked. So you'll be able to keep track on what's coming in, what's being deducted. So NI tax and if pension, if you're opted in. And then the total net pay here is what goes into your bank account. Sometimes it's nice to keep track of what's coming in year to date and in this period. So it is important that we include the payroll analysis, where you'll be able to see your year to date earnings, your year to date gross and deductions, as well as seeing it for that current period. So what's coming on this actual payslip. So we do determine tax codes based on any information that we get from HMRC, but most importantly, if you are new to us, we would determine it by the P45 that you send us, and that's sent in from your previous employer. If you don't have that, which is fine, you can just fill out a new starter declaration, and we'll be able to apply a tax code that's fitting until we get updated by HMRC. The standard tax code for this year is 1257L, and you've got your standard tax-free allowances monthly and weekly just here. Again, it is important that if we are due for a change of tax code, we get this in via HMRC because we cannot do it any other way. So it has to come in via HMRC on the data system, and that's how we would apply the change. So if you have had a few pay slips now with Giant and you still feel like your tax code isn't right, I would recommend using this tool here. You can possibly find out why it might have changed. If you do find the answer, that's great. But if you don't, then I would say call HMRC on this number here. Just a FYI, this webinar is recorded, so you can go back and write down these links and numbers. If you do call them, they will be able to give you more of an insight as to why they've put you on a tax code, or if you need to give them information, then you can inform them. Income. So claiming for sick pay, you have the ability to claim for sick pay throughout Giant if you've been off work for more than 3 days. So the first 3 days are classed as waiting days. It's not paid as per government guidelines. So even if you had one day off, they won't classify that as anything statutory for being processed for statutory sick pay. But if it's 4 days or more, you can have that. Providing that you have medical notes or anything from the doctor, like sick notes, you will need to complete the SC2 form. So everyone can retrieve that form from the government website. You will be able to fill it out and just send it along with any fit notes or medical certificates. So in regards to holiday pay, everybody's entitled to it, but it's AMS who determines what your holiday entitlement should be. So you can see from this grid here, there's different annual leave entitlement days. So usually everyone starts off with 28 days. And from there, depending on how your assignment is, it can go up. Again, everybody's is different. So it is down to AMS to advise us of that. You can view the accrual on each payslip as I showed on the payroll analysis. We do recommend holiday being taken in the year it accrues in. So as you can see, it says 1st of January to the 31st of December. But if you can't, or as we are approaching the end of the holiday year, you will find that it just carries over to the next year's holiday pot. So if you do want to enter holiday pay, you can do this yourself. It does save a lot of time if you are busy at work. You can just enter your data and then request holiday pay. Once you are on the next page, you'll be able to select the correct assignment, the week ending date it relates to, and each day, oh, sorry guys, each day in each box, you can enter the total amount of hours. I would recommend double checking everything that has auto-populated in the boxes are correct, just so that you are submitting the correct hours and you're not over entering or under entering. Once you are happy with that, just select next. You will be asked to enter your line manager's email, but don't worry, it's just for admin purposes. It's not, we're not going to use it or anything like that. It's just the next step for actually completing the process of this. So, in regards to the pension process, so everybody is enrolled to the government workplace pension with NES. It is 90 days from your first payslip, and you will contribute 5%, and we contribute 3%. You can opt in early, so for those that are really new to us, you can just send us a message just to opt in, and we can do that for you. If you do want to opt out, you have to wait for the welcome pack to arrive. Once that does come in, then you'll be able to give them a ring and follow the opt out process. It is usually quite quick and easy. One thing I would say about opting out is you do need to do this within 28 days of receiving the letter, just so that you can get a refund. However, if you don't do that within 28 days, you won't necessarily get a refund, but you can just seize your account. So that's important information. Once that's all been completed, it's Giant who will get the stop notification and will stop any pensions going out. So for the salary sacrifice pension, you can gain significant tax savings by contributing into a private pension. So that could be a new or existing private pension. If you are interested in starting that process, I would recommend sending a message on the feedback section of the portal so we could get our pension specialists to reach out to you. Expenses reversal. So this is quite a common one. It is in line with the HMRC tax regulations. We classify all expense claims as taxable. So if it is a work-related expense and you wish to claim your tax relief back on it, you just need to send the expenses reversal form. This is something that we can provide, and you'll just fill it out and send us the receipts to back up the claim. We will be able to run our checks, and once it has been approved, it can take about 2 weeks. We will just issue the reversal in your most upcoming pay. It can be sooner than 2 weeks, but we just like to manage expectations. So getting in contact, as you've heard me mention, sending messages on the feedback report. So this is how you would do it. You just need to add feedback. So feedback report, and then add, create a subject in the message, and someone will come back to you within about 24 hours or sooner. You can send us a live chat as well. So that is a bit more of a quicker response. Um, if it's up to you, it's what you prefer, if I'm honest with you. But either way, you will get the same answers back. So just to summarize, we've mentioned logging in to the portals, when you'll be paid and where to locate the payslips. Also how to understand it. We've shown you like a display of what that would look like when you start getting payslips. How to understand tax codes and what they're determined by. I have provided the link and the HMRC number on if you think your tax code needs changing, or what to do in that instance. Um, Claiming for sick pay. You can claim for sick pay if you've been off for like more than 4 days onwards. That's the first 3 days are classed as waiting days. Holiday entitlement. So everyone's entitled to their holiday, and it could differ. It depends on what AMS have requested for us. Actually entering holiday on the portal. So what that looks like for using the self-serve function. We mentioned Nest pension opting out, the salary sacrifice pension. If you are interested in that, just send us a message. Also, the expenses reversal and how to send us your form in and the supporting receipts to back up the expenses you want to reverse. If you do have any questions, I think I've seen some pop up, but just please continue to send them through the Q&A function of the portal, and I'll get through as many as possible. Okay. I've just seen some questions from Sean, I believe. And oh, thank you. No, we would still proceed just because people that have registered can get the recording and they could probably get, use of any questions that I might answer. Um, Let me have a look. So you started your contract a few weeks ago. So with holiday, yes, you can backdate it. However, you're right. So every time you're entering your timesheet, you're accruing a certain percentage of holidays going aside in your holiday pot. So every time you're getting paid, that percentage is going and it's building up in your holiday pot. And once it's built up enough hours, you can then go in and you can um, process holiday. So if there's enough hours in there, you can definitely book for the December holidays. But you'd have to go in and have a look at your holiday pot. Does that make sense? Oh, and for the sick pay, it's 3 days in like a row. So let's say you had Monday to Wednesday off, you wouldn't they wouldn't be classified as statutory sick pay because it's classed as waiting days, or if you just had like an odd 1 day off in the week, you won't be eligible for that statutory sick pay. But if you were off for 4 days or more, then you'll be able to provide the self-certification form. If it's for like more than a week, then you can provide doctor's notes and then it will go in for um, statutory sick pay providing that our payroll team have come back. So, yeah, no, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any more questions, let me know. If any more come to your mind later on, just send us a message and we'll come back to you as soon as possible. Okay, I will begin to wrap up this webinar. Thank you so much for attending, Sean, and for everyone else who catches up later. Just please do, if you have any questions on what I've discussed, just let me know and I will come back to each of you. Thank you. Have a lovely Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye bye.